Hi everybody, Maria Lupita, Psychic Medium. Happy New Year's Eve everybody. I come to you in another quick episode with Wise Words and Ramblings on December 31st, 2020, the last day of our calendar year. And tomorrow, being January 1st, a brand new year. So what is it that we typically do in years past? And we look to the years past and how all of the things that we wanted and expected didn't happen. Now, we don't do that just in a year where there's a pandemic. It's going to be extra. It's going to be extra this year because of the pandemic. But we do that every year. We go over all of the negative things, the things that didn't happen, the things that didn't feel good, the things that we didn't like, and then we make a whole list of all of the things that we want to be different and how we're going to change and all of our hopes and everything that goes into the new year. So we make all of our New Year's resolutions and then we go to sleep. Then we wake up the next morning and everything is still the same. So let's not go that same route this year. Let's not reminisce about all of the horrible things that happened and how we hope that next year will be better, because when we wake up in the morning, we're still going to be ourselves, okay? Instead, why don't we find 3 things that we're thankful for? Maybe 3 things that might have happened that good that came out of this year. Something, anything. 3 things. What are 3 things that we're thankful for? I'd like to say maybe 5, but let's start with 3. Let's not push it here, okay? So that's my New Year's Eve challenge to everybody. Instead of reminiscing about all of the horrible things, well, why don't we challenge ourselves to think of all the positive things? What are some positive things that have happened this year? What are 3 things that you're thankful for? And instead of going into like how we're going to miraculously change everything, next year, tomorrow, instead, what if we just make the goal that when we wake up in the morning, that we carry that gratitude with us? And hopefully that gratitude will translate into something that's real and tangible. And if we all do that, we will be contributing to the world in a profound way. It shifts energy, it shifts vibration, it shifts frequency, it shifts our mind, it shifts our hearts. When we shift our mind and our heart, we feel better. And when we feel better, we're better to other people. And it just feels good. So maybe let's do that instead. Yeah. So although tonight is a heavy day for me because it's the 3-year anniversary of my mom's transition. My mom passed away on December 31st, 2017. I have a lot that I could spiral down and get into a lot of grief about today. But I'm really making a conscious choice to not let my thoughts throw a tantrum and let it evoke negative emotion within me. I'm paying attention to my thoughts. Those thoughts have definitely come up today, trust me, but I'm also managing them. So when that thought comes up, I'm just working with myself, not in a place of denial, but instead of a place of truth. Yeah, my mom did make her transition. She did pass, and I do miss her tremendously. Yes, I am a medium. I'm a psychic. I have the ability to sense and feel her, but I still miss her. So instead of going down that spiral, I'm going to be so thankful for all the experiences that I got to have with her. I'm going to remember all of those wonderful things. And I'm going to remind myself that although I miss her and she's not here in the physical world anymore after making her transition, that in reality, I would not be with my mom in this moment, even if she was alive. So when I bring myself back to that truth, and instead of being in the sorrow of not having her, I would remember and realize like, oh, well, even if she was here, I wouldn't be spending my New Year's Eve with her anyway. We all quietly spend them individually at our own homes so that we're safe and sound. And we use the evening, to celebrate with our families, and then we all call each other. So yeah, I have a lot that I could really focus on in the negative and let my mind go there in the negative. And then what good does that do me or anybody around me? So instead, I'm going to find those things that I'm thankful for. So, yeah, these prayer cards are on the mantle of my mom and my dad. Okay, this is the prayer card on the backs. My mom. So I'm going to remember her. And if you watch the last video that I did where the TV spontaneously turned on, Anini Beach, and all of that significant meaning. So yeah, I have a lot to be thankful for. I especially am extraordinarily thankful for this little fireplace behind me. Now, I've had the toughest time with it this past week. I couldn't get it working. I think it needs a new thermocouple. And we're in the coldest time of the year. And I could not get it to work for anything last night. So finally, about 1 o'clock in the morning, I finally had to go across and actually get a little space heater and bring it in just to kind of keep the house warm. And I tried it all morning, couldn't get it going. I tried it again later in the afternoon, I couldn't get it going, and I pretty much gave up on it. But then, thinking that, wow, it's New Year's Eve. I'm celebrating the transition and the passing of my mama. I'm not going to be here with my family and my brothers and my sisters to give me that comfort and for us to come together. We can still Zoom and we can still FaceTime, but, they're not going to be physically present with me. And so I was really wanting that comfort, a fire, that inner fire, that God spark, that flame. That's something that my mom and I both share. So I actually even have it tattooed. I don't know if you can actually see it, but it's a fire, and it's actually in the shape of a feather. So yeah, fire. So later this evening, maybe about just an hour ago, I thought, why not give it a try? So in that video, when I said that our loved ones are guides, they will not interfere unless we ask for help. Now, trust me, I've been asking for help. I asked for a lot of help yesterday, but today it's different. Yesterday was from a sense of panic, like the frenzy of, oh my God, I got to get this fireplace going because we're going to freeze, okay? It was a sense of panic, and it wasn't a prayer from a place of trust. I couldn't get it going, and it didn't work. So again, all day today. And then an hour ago, I did something different. I started thinking of my mom. I started thinking of my dad and how I'm so thankful that they're now together because my dad has now made his transition as well. And I'm missing both of them. And yes, that is all truth. And I didn't want to go into the frenzy of my mind and the loss of them, right? Like I talked about before. So instead, I came to the fireplace and I started the ignition. It did its thing. It clicked off. I started it again, and I did it maybe 3 times. So finally, I just clicked it on and I just walked away. And instead, I felt this thing of trust in my heart, thing of belief, a place of faith. And I was thinking of my mama and my papa, and I was asking them, gosh, I really could use some comfort tonight. I really would love to have a cozy fire tonight of all nights. And so I walked away, and, I could hear it clicking on and off and doing its little beeping and doing all of this stuff. And then all of a sudden I didn't hear it beeping anymore. And I looked over and the fire was on. So call it what you will. I am going to take it as an absolute intervention from both my mama and my papa to help me get this little fire going tonight of all nights as I celebrate you, mama. I love you. And I love you, papa. So I have a special treat for everybody that I'm working on, because I did a little video of where the TV turned on by itself, and some people might be thinking like, okay, yeah, no big deal, right? That I might be reading into what I'm seeing on the screen. Yeah, that could be true too. But haven't seen the same sequence of those same images again. So I have an extra special treat. I'm a very visual person. I love imagery and I love amateur photography. So oftentimes you will see some of my amateur photos on the website. And I love taking photos. So every opportunity that I have when I'm in a moment of where I'm feeling moved, I will take a photo. So I took a photo when I was thinking of my mom last Christmas. And I cannot wait to show you what I captured on film. Wow. So I'll prepare that and I'll put it probably in an upcoming video shortly here because I'm honoring my mama. So I challenge you to find 3 things that you're thankful for. 3 things that you feel that are good that happened in 2020. And carry that gratitude with you. Let's not do the same old, same old. If we want things to be different, we got to start doing things differently. So let's do it. Happy New Year's, everybody. May you all stay safe. And for those of you who are either coping with COVID virus, who have lost loved ones from COVID-19 this year, I honor every one of you. I do not take that lightly. This world is going through change. And as we are in this world, we also need to change with it. So let's see what comes of it. So God bless you all. I wish you all the very best. Just let it all go and just carry gratitude in your hearts, even for the challenges, because when we have those challenges, that's when we learn the most. So yeah, may we all have a very, very safe evening. May you all be safe. I wish you all safety and health and blessings, not just tonight, not just in this new year, but always, you and your loved ones. So, Happy New Year's Eve.